Hi guys! Today I wanted to do a commentary on my love for animation, comic books, and manga. It's going to be quite short and brief, so not everything's going to be in it, but I just wanted to express my love for it just because it's a form of art and storytelling that I think has been kind of lost, forgotten within the Western world. In Western society, animation and comic books have primarily been associated with children themes, and I know that there's a lot of remakes about the Avengers and Marvel comic books, but I'm talking about in general. Western society associates animation and comic books with little kids and children, primarily Disney. Slapstick humor, very subtle things, and really nothing that's really big, you know what I mean, has a big story. And on the contrary, animation and mangas and comic books can actually have something completely different. They can be very deep. Children used to collect comic books. I know some of them still avidly collect them. However, now this form of art is basically associated with geek culture. Later, children started to read books rather than collect comic books, and small animations used to play before a feature film, like Felix the Cat or Betty Boop series, and all of them have disappeared just because film has become a business. Nowadays, children barely read books at all. They're on game consoles, on the internet, on Facebook, or on their phones, and storytelling has really changed from this really slow pace to a really quick, short, snappy videos made for people with really short attention spans. I even find newspaper articles have become really quite short and very snappy, and not only for economic reasons. I grew up, I'd say, in the second stage of what I just talked about, where the internet had not completely taken over yet, and children would carry around books, but comic books were still kind of looked down upon because they're geeky. However, looking back at the Disney films and all the comic books that I did read, they had interesting topics and stories and a lot of subtext. Something that you would find quite hard to find in the short videos on YouTube today. I really think it's a shame we don't see more comic books, mangas, or animation, even if they are digital and online. They are visual forms of storytelling, and in some essence, I really think they're just storyboards for films with extra thought bubbles. Japan, Korea, and China have, for the most part, embraced the art of animation and manga, and I mostly mean Japan, leading them not only to export their culture to other countries, but they've also been one of the world's leading animation studios beside Disney. And you know what I'm talking about, Studio Ghibli. Japan has embraced mangas to an extreme, however, up to the point where people are reading mangas about pornography on public transportation, which I disagree with. But it has given rise to artists who have developed their own style of drawing and illustrations. Illustrators in the Western world would usually be hired for magazines, leaflets, posters, online website designs, and I guess they would find it quite hard to develop their own style for characters and for story arcs, just simply because there's no audience time or money for it. Even in today's world, creating an animation is actually really quite hard, very expensive, and there's not a lot of audience for it unless it's specifically for children. When you're doing an animation with adult themes, like the ones that you find in the animation film festivals, it's actually really hard to find an audience for it unless the animation is specifically made for the eastern part of the world, I think. I think Japan has been so successful with exporting their Pokemon, their Naruto, everything else, that Japanese has become the third most popular foreign language taught worldwide. Oh my god, they're tiny. There's a tiny little country and everyone wants to learn Japanese simply because of the power of exporting this form of art and storytelling. And they're the second most popular taught foreign language in Europe after English. That's how powerful it is. So I believe that the Western world should really embrace animation, comic books, or mangas, or make them popular because they offer another form of literature, they're artistic, and they have lots of themes that young teenagers are interested in. And just the facts that I just gave you are proof of that. They could guide them and they're interested, and they also give a visual mix with written storytelling. I think this really helps with regards to creativity and developing a child's mind to learn and grow up with learning how important both of them really are. So that's what I think animation is with regards to the Western and the Eastern world. So give your comments, your views on why, if you agree with me or if you don't agree with me. And please like, share, and subscribe. Bye!